What's up, people? This is your stream tonight with your host, Simon Davenport, and I've got a special guest for you. I want to tell a story, not much a story. Let me give you a synopsis of one of the friends that I'm bringing on today. I was 21, 22 when an amazing opportunity opened up for me. I was probably a Christian for 14 months. And I got asked to be the youth pastor of an incredible, amazing church. And so the guest I have was one of my very first youth students over 10 years ago. And now he's just an incredible, just as an amazing young man. I want to introduce my friend and spiritual brother, the man, the myth, the legend. We got John Austin Kilpatrick in the house. What's up, John?
Man, I don't even know what's happening right now, but I'm all about it.
I love it, dude. So how are you doing, man?
Dude, man, I don't know. I'm kind of losing my mind stuck in this house, man. Yeah, bro. It's kind of lame, but it's always good to talk to good friends.
I hear you. So you are in Alabama. You were living in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So you're in Alabama now?
Yeah, so I've been in Alabama since I was like 12 years old. And about 17, you moved down and became youth pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, some best memories of my life.
Dude, they're flooding in as I think.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember like doing backflips off the rope swings. Like, oh, man, I don't even know. That's just one of the stories. But anyways,
oh, man,
yeah,
nice.
I've been down here my whole life, man. But I moved away when I was like 22. Or no, not 22, like 20. And just came back, man, about 2.5 years ago, and I'm about to move to Fairhope next week, so just enjoying that, man.
John Austin, you make Alabama look good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I'm just glad they'll keep me because it's been fun.
Man, I tell you what, so your grandfather is Pastor John Kilpatrick, pastor of the Church of His Presence, and so he was my boss, and so I just remember like being, my first time in ministry ever. I'm like, who do I hang out with? Like how do I keep myself out of trouble? And I remember like when the first time we started hanging out is you had all these weights, and we were like in the back of your house, and we're like in the backyard like
pump up, burn it up.
Yeah. Doing like back squats in the middle of a grass field, and
Dude.
Yeah.
I remember jumping off a shed with like a Bowie knife in my hand and doing a barrel roll. And I looked over at you and I was like, let's do a barrel roll.
Man, and then I think like your grandfather, like my boss, like drives by, and I was just like, hello, pastor. I got my shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Head to toe, no shoes, little shorty shorts, just doing back squats. It was
getting them gains, bro.
Oh my gosh, man.
Dude, those are literally the times of my life.
Those were awesome. These are some awesome times. Amazing
Bro, it's
times.
like I've happened to carry that torch that you left, man, because like nobody down here is like down to party. I mean, brother, when it comes to it, I'm down to clown. I'm the guy that everybody invites to the party because they know it's gonna suck without me.
All right, dude,
that's just how it goes.
Like being aware of what you carry on you is very important. So.
I mean that in all humbleness. Not really. Dude, like honestly, I love people, but I don't at the same time. It's really hard for me. I'm like fighting that, dude.
I like it, man. So you were like one of my, like when I think about it, when I was really cutting my teeth, learning to be a youth pastor and trying to figure out like, it's just different, man, being like really in love with Jesus, and then all of a sudden you're like responsible for, students, and it's like kind of scary. But then I just remember having just so much fun, man. Like, what were some of the wild things that we did that I probably shouldn't. I'm like, I probably shouldn't ask. I wouldn't recommend to other youth pastors. You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, I'm like, I can't get fired because like I'm.
Yeah, that's true. It's how it's going now.
It happened.
Dude, I remember one time we we used to go to this summer camp Remember up in Springville?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro, I remember one time I was out there. Dude, you probably didn't remember this. You probably didn't remember this at all, but like, you know how like they have the firework night at like the last night?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so like there's this girl, I was talking to this girl all week and I was really showing out with my tug of war skills. And she said, "You know what? I'm gonna hang out with him on firework night." And so we're sitting on the hill watching fireworks alone, away from everybody. And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna kiss her." So I did. And guess who walks by right when I did? You. And guess who? I was like, "What's up, man?" And you're like, "What's up?" And then I'm almost positive you don't even know it was me. Like, I felt awkward for days, bro, because I was like, "Dang, my youth pastor just caught me kissing this girl."
So you're
And
telling
then,
me you were at camp for the Lord and Savior Jesus, and you're
yep.
like, I gotta kiss this girl. I just gotta kiss her.
I mean, she was pretty good looking. I mean, I don't know. It was one of the funny stories I could think of. There's plenty, man.
Oh man, or like I remember we the drive-by noodle yell swing.
Bruh.
Dude, okay, you were like a big deal on Vine. Do you remember Vine?
Dude, yeah, I had like thousands of
Yeah,
followers back then.
you were like the only person I knew that had ever gone like social media, like, kind of micro famous, right? And you were crushing it
Eesh.
on Vine, dude. You were hilarious. You had some awesome Vine movies. Why'd they take Vine down?
Dude, when they ruined Vine, it honestly felt like a chapter of my life had just been burnt. And it really, it hurt. I remember laying in bed just thinking, I've officially peaked. And so, yeah, that messed me up. But, dude, now I'm actually taking a shot at TikTok.
You're doing it?
I'm taking a shot at it.
What's your TikTok handle? How can we follow you?
All right, dude. Right now, my TikTok is all gaming.
Okay.
But I'm about to transfer over to funny stuff like I used to. But my TikTok is turkey paste. I know that's stupid. You're going to be like, what in the heck is that? I don't even know.
Turkey paste.
But
I like it.
when people look at it, they're going to say, you know what? That is most unique, interesting name. What the world does that mean? And that's how I get you connected.
That's right.
So
Turkey paste. Well, I'll be sure to hit you up. But man, like, what is it like? Because I know this is gonna sound very odd, but like, I didn't grow up in a youth ministry.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grow up in youth. Like you know my story, man. Like I didn't get saved till I was like a sophomore in college. Like 20. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
being like having done the grow up in church, in youth, and now like you're a young adult. Like, I mean, do you run into people that you're like my teen years were just so completely different than yours? I mean, you like share memories, and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I run into people all the time, man, because like honestly, the majority of my friends don't even go to church. To be honest, I've established myself as the kind of guy that likes everybody and is friends with everybody regardless of status. Like if you love Jesus, if you don't, that's cool. I'm still gonna believe what I believe, and maybe one day you'll be interested. But I run into a lot of people. I used to work as an electrician actually up until recently. And dude, when you work in the trade world in Alabama, you run into some of the dirtiest people in the world.
In the world.
Bro, like, the filth rubs off on you. It's awful. But I have met a ton of people, man. But honestly, my like life is completely different than everyone's. And like you don't realize it until you get out there in the real world and people start calling you like an idiot because of you're weird or something. Church people are weird. I'll be honest. You have to have somebody who wasn't homeschooled tell you, you know what, dude, you're a little weird. You got to get that off of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you
shout out to all the homeschool.
You had a run of homeschool, right?
I had to run a homeschool for like 3 years. I went to school pretty much all the way up until 11th grade or 10th or 11th. I can't remember. And then homeschool from there because I got saved like 10th grade, bro. Mm-hmm. And like after I got saved, like that was like in the midst of revival. Like I was all for it, man. So I literally left it all, left football behind, left baseball, and just went after God, dude. And a lot of people still like that are my friends from school. They still don't understand like to this day. They're all nice to me, but they're like, dude, why did you do that? Like you were on your way to college, like you were all this. I'm just like, guys,
It's true.
it's beyond my understanding, you know.
And so
So
like, I mean, because I kind of remember when you got saved. You know, you really like it. Like there was a moment, you know, and it was just right around when I started coming around. Before I was in
yeah,
youth ministry, I was just a drummer, but like it is kind of weird, right? Like how, you know, when you make that decision and you're just gonna go wide after, well, you know, wide open after Jesus. Like some people don't get it. Some people think you're crazy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
dude. Honestly, like, I don't mean to like be weird or anything, but man, if it weren't for you, like, to have an example of like being able to go after God and not be just some stiff preacher, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that really changed it for me because I was not I was not attracted to the whole church 3-piece suits and ties. I was not attracted to that. But to
Mm-hmm.
see just like a real dude, you know, with crazy hair, big beard, you know, tattoos, just jumping in the altar after Jesus, like that's what I'm like, yeah, that's my kind of guy. So that's what inspired me to really want to go after ministry. And I've actually been a youth pastor, like mainly because like your example, bro. Like
Wow.
I've loved ministry since like you basically like opened it up for me. Because before, like I said, it was just like dry and boring. And then like you showed me the fun side of it, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to do this. So I've done youth, young adults. I've done it all. Still volunteer at youth and young adults in my churches, and
That's
it's
cool.
been great, man.
That's
So
cool. I think one of the most like, because it's like weird, and you know you know what this is like as life goes on, you have these weird moments that kind of stick out to you, and you're like, oh man, like you know those like cringy moments that you just
oh
will wake
god,
you up like 10 years later. It
yes,
was
dude.
when okay, so I think it was like your senior year. You were graduating high school,
Oh, I know exactly
and
what you're talking
everybody, you
about.
know, and I was like putting together this big spreadsheet of everybody giving me their information, and I either like missed like an email from your mom or you, or so I got all the seniors right, and we're doing this big huge graduation thing, and I'm talking to all this, and I've got like their favorite verse, and I've got their like what they want to do, and all these questions that you actually had to like know the answers to, and I
Yeah.
got through it, and then like I like did the whole senior presentation. I'm like, I went pretty smooth. And then I like kind of look out the corner of my eye, and like, there's some people that are like really starting to get upset. I was like, man, what did I? And then I see you in the front row, and then I see like the look, and I was like, oh god. And I was like, and I just made it up at the spot. I was like, and then John Austin, he loves all the scriptures. His favorite
Dude, that's,
scripture.
you said that. You
I was
did.
like, he loves a lot of scriptures. And I was trying to think of a scripture off the top of my head, and I couldn't think of
Oh
one. So I was
god,
like,
dude.
multiple favorite scriptures. You know, what does he want to do when he grows up?
Oh
Whatever
man.
God wants, you know? I was
Yeah,
like,
dude.
how did I forget that, man?
I felt bad for you. I didn't even care really. But
Oh,
like, man,
man.
I knew you were cringing. But I remember my mom was like so ticked. She's like, he forgot you. Go get him right now.
I felt terrible, bro. I still feel bad about it. There's like a handful of things in my life where I'm like, oh, man, if I could go back, fix that one, I
No.
would. But
Yeah, who cares, man? I mean, honestly, it was really it's a story now, you know. It's
yeah,
funny. It didn't really bother me at all. I know it bothered you, but it was funny, man.
so like some of those guys that we grew up with, that you grew up with, that were in the youth ministry. I mean, is any of those guys like still friends? Are they still around?
So Max and I have been friends ever since. Like Max is like basically one of my lifelong friends. We've been buddies ever since
Dude,
youth,
all
and
right, wait. How old are you right now, John Austin?
I'll be 26 in a couple months.
Oh God.
Or
Okay.
27. I'm sorry,
Oh
27.
no.
26. I got my age,
Oh,
bro. I know. I
you
know.
were you
Don't
were
think about it.
17, 16?
Yeah, six,
Ah.
dude.
I didn't
I
have
know.
this, I didn't have this gray patch in my beard when I was your youth pastor. So.
Hey, you gotta pour a little salt in there every now and
But anyway,
then.
so Max is still you still hang with Max?
Yeah, I still hang with Max. I'm trying to think of some other people, man. Oh, I'm still buddies with Ray. I don't know if you remember Ray. Sweet baby Ray is what we call him. He's like 6 foot, like 5.
No.
Anyways, he came to like summer camp once, and he was a really cool guy. Um, there's a couple people I still talk to, like Matthew Gray, Gray Vice.
Gray
Um,
Vice?
yeah, Gray Vice still
Matthew
around,
Gray?
man.
I remember him.
Yes,
All these
yeah,
Grays,
dude.
dude.
Matthew Gray's actually got his own company, like doing drywall. Like he's a really good worker, man. Gray's still hanging around. Gray is like a car fanatic now, bro. He is really like into that.
Really?
He's got a killer like Beamer, bro, like fully decked out. It's crazy.
That's amazing,
But
man. It's
dude, our group has grown tremendously. Like we have so many new faces, But
that's awesome. That's
yeah, so
that's
my best friend since sixth grade is now our young adults pastor.
that's so cool.
We were playing games with him like a couple months ago.
That's
Blake,
okay. Okay, very
yeah,
cool. Very cool.
yeah, Blake's awesome, man. So, the whole dynamic's changing down here, but I think it's good, and I'm just trying to have fun and serve God.
That's what's up, man. It's crazy how like those. I was talking to one of my buddies just about like those, like in the very beginning, you have these experiences, these times with God and with other people, and they kind of like mark you forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like especially spiritually, like you have these moments with God and these moments like in worship or like at a church
yeah,
service, and like you keep it with you, like you carry it with you, for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
as it's true. I remember like I think the most powerful experiences of like with God I've ever had is like in that old warehouse we used to call our youth building, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like just an old work building that we turned into a youth room, man, and built a stage, played worship. Dude, I remember being front row, just jumping up and down. I'm a heavy guy. I've always been a heavy guy. Like if I can jump up and down for like 30 minutes straight, like it's real, because I ain't about to punish myself like that. You know what I mean? Dude, those are some of the best like God moments of my life. Like those are the times where God has really just spoken to me. And honestly, God still like works through me, but like those times were like the most powerful of all. And I'll remember those forever.
Dude, it's funny how like it's like you don't realize in the moment the things that you're living are they're like experiences, but they're also it's like they're more they're like a it's almost like a compass like for the rest of your life, and you and it's not that you try to like relive like old
Yeah,
memories, but it's like they kind of set you in a direction. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
It really did for me, man. I've always wanted to do ministry for years, ever since all that, and I've had my share of it. I just, work and stuff. You have to survive out here, when you're on your own now. So,
Yeah.
I don't do ministry as much as I want, but I still have a heart for God, and I'll never forget. I'm always open to whatever God wants to do, but it really does like it's like a moral compass, like in your life. Like God has like built that foundation, and you just take it and run with it, man.
Yeah. Dude. I don't know what like just recently, man. Like I had this. I'll share something with you, John. I woke up today and there was this girl. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head. Okay, so when I moved back to Nashville,
Hmm.
hey, what's up, Josh? So when I moved back to Nashville, I was in we started this young adults ministry. We called it Movement, and there was this girl that came through, and dude, it's like it's not that you try to like copy somebody from like a season, but you get around that stuff, and it just becomes part of your DNA. So
Yeah,
I moved to Nashville. I'm doing a young adults ministry up there, and it was like it's like you would see the stuff, like the miracles and like the presence of God like move through a room, stuff that
yeah,
like you get really used to, but then you go to other places and they're not. It's that revival atmosphere is like not the case. I'm sure you've seen it, right? You go to other
yeah,
churches and they're like, yeah, this is revival, and you're like, maybe, like I'm not like the revival like referee, but like I've seen some stuff. And
yes,
anyway, this girl comes through and the same kind of stuff that we would see Nathan and the Shake team, all like had like a word of knowledge. And it's so funny, man, when you sit underneath people and you're a part of ministries, you're getting stuff that you didn't know that you're picking up on. And I just remember kind of the same stuff. Hey, I feel like somebody in here has like a knee injury and
yep,
just really on fire for God, pressing in for that stuff. And anyway, this girl gets healed, and in my mind, that memory is pretty fresh. And then she shares it on her Facebook today, and it was like 5 years ago or something. And I was just like, "Dang, dude,
jeez,
I don't remember. To be honest, dude, I don't really remember the last time I really pressed in hard to see God move like that." And so she was
yeah,
sharing this testimony of like, hey, I remember this thing happened, and it hit me funny, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, it was convicting. It convicted me. I was like, man, it's not that I'm like backslid or anything, but I'm not tearing it up like crazy
Yeah.
radical. And it's and
Dang.
to hear you say things like that, like very humbling to me. But it also, again, it puts a little angst in me to go like, man, I wanna make sure that I continue to be the guy that John Austin remembers me as. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're still that guy, brother.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just
I
feel
know.
this push to be like, man, it's like to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Honestly, it's kind of convicting hearing you say all that, man, because, like, the reason I'm still saved to this day is because of what we have seen, bro.
mhm.
Like, we've seen things that are beyond our comprehension. I mean, you already know the story, but I remember being in service one night and Delia Knox gets out of a wheelchair and, like, walks. And then you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe she could walk before. No, she couldn't. And then you're sitting on this for like a week, bro, and then she comes back and walks in high heels
How
and is like
okay?
singing.
How old were you when the Delia Knox? Take people through it real quick, because that's pretty radical, man.
Yeah.
But give it through your perspective. Like, how old were you when that happened? Just tell the story.
All right, so this is after I had quit football and decided to be homeschooled, and I was probably 17, 18. It's one or the other. I can't remember, but I remember just every single night, like every single night, we would go to this convention center and have service till from 7 p.m. till like 2 a.m. You know, and we're in there, and I remember worship starting, and you know, here comes this woman down the aisle in a wheelchair with her husband, and Nathan hops off the stage, and my first thought is this is bonkers, like come on, man, because that's my flesh, I'm fighting that. But then the other side of me is like, no way, this is gonna happen. And so he just starts laying hands on her, man, and I don't know, it felt like 5 minutes, could have been longer, but he just starts praying for her, and she's reacting to it. I don't know what she's going through, and then my grandfather joins him, and I just remember like seeing her get up, and they're holding her by her arms, and she's like lifting her legs, and I just like, how you're like in a moment and you don't believe it, but you're seeing it. I don't know how to describe it. Like you've seen it. You're just like watching this, and you're like, huh? But like that's me. Whenever Simon would see something like that, Simon's always like, yeah, God, yeah, woo, come on. Like you're like cheering him on, bro. I remember that. Like, dude, there's one night Simon like was like falling out of the drum set, like because he's getting touched that hard. This is the middle of worship, he's playing, and all of a sudden just slump. So like it's just really crazy, man. I fought that for a long time, but like when I saw her come back that week after, man, that just sealed my faith for life, dude. And every single night we were expecting miracles from that point out. People have been like healed from deafness, blindness, broken limbs. Like it was just insane. I remember I worked at there was like a testimony table, is like on the side of the stage. Like if you get healed, come over here. We'll take down your information, and if they if it's real or because there's a lot of people who just want to get on stage and grab the mic, but if it's real, like they'll bring you on stage and you can testify. And like, dude, I remember so many different people get healed by God, and like they'll come up and like show you, and it's like, holy moly, this is real. Like one girl took her hearing aid out of her ear, and like I stood behind her and snapped 3 times. And I was like, how many times did I snap? She said this. I'm like, how? So it was crazy, man. Like that sealed my faith for life, dude.
Like as a young person, like 18, I mean, seeing that stuff, man, it's like you can't unsee it. Like you can't
No.
unexperience that kind of stuff. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah, you can't go back after that, man. Like you said, like when I moved to Nashville, I remember like being so used to like the works of God and like revival, and then like you get to Nashville and like I have nothing against Nashville at all. Nashville is some of the greatest memories of my life, but it's a lot more reserved. The Spirit of God is not as free to move as you would hope. I don't mean that like in a bad way. It's just like not a lot of people are used to that, and they don't understand when God starts to move. And there's very few pastors that can handle that. But thankfully, I was under Lendell Cooley, who allowed that to happen because he is part of revival.
Hmm.
But it's strange because everybody else doesn't understand. But like the very few who do are welcoming it, and it's just going from like a 10 down to like a lot less. It's just
Yeah.
different. It's different.
Bro, since all those days, it's like there's a lot. I'd say most people haven't experienced it, and that
Yeah.
doesn't make like you or I like any better or special that we
No.
have. It's just there's just such a misunderstanding of what does it mean when we say like the Spirit of God's moving or God's like touching people, or yeah, like I remember those miracles, and I've seen miracles like past that. I
Yeah.
just remember, man, just the way the Holy Spirit would like, and I know it's not about a feeling, so
Yeah.
it just the way the Holy Spirit just sits and just like that feeling of like God in the room, bro.
Yeah.
That there is nothing like that in the whole world, dude.
Man, I'll be honest, man. I haven't felt that in a long time, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know, dude, and you're a carrier of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I walked away feeling is like, man, God brought. I felt like God brought me from all over the like wherever I was like to that place and
Yeah.
and almost to establish a new normal for what could happen like moving forward. You know what I mean? And I know that it's all over you, John. But here's
Man.
Ben Onisa. Here we go. Here, another thing to remember. He said Eduardo's rocks. Remember that?
Do not touch Eduardo's rocks.
Bro, and that
What's
was the
up,
coolest
Benny?
part, bro, is that in the middle of all this like the power of God moving, we
Yep.
had the most insanely amazing youth ministry ever, dude.
Whew.
Ever.
The goat. That's what I
The
call it. The
goat,
goat
dude.
industry.
And bro, it's like I can't say I got to be careful how I say this, but like I mean, I'm in youth ministry still. Like I'm still a youth pastor, and I love our students up here. It's like you can't really compare it.
No,
But
I know.
man, it's like that first you were like part of the first like group of students I ever led, and
Yeah.
dude,
Dude, I've been a part of youth groups ever since. Like from that point, even after like I was 19, 20, I'm 26, almost 27, and I'm still like volunteering. Dude, to me, nothing compares to the awesome memories and people we had, dude. And like you said, that means no disrespect to anybody else, but like, dude, we had it going on.
it's just special, man. Just
It was special.
it really was. It was really special, and bro, and I but it's yeah. I remember going to Vortex Springs and too when you're like 22 and you're 23, you're a youth pastor. It's a little
Yeah.
different. Right now, I'm like, yay, if somebody wants to do a double backflip off of like a 20-foot ledge into this murky puddle of water. You're like, I'm gonna pray for you. But when you're like 22, you're like, I'm gonna double backflip and I'm gonna show
Dude.
these kids who's
I'm not. He's not even joking. Like I'm over here doing like 1080 like helicopter flip off a diving board, and all of a sudden I get out of the water and I'm looking up, and he's like, I did it, bro, and then he like bounces up and does a double backflip and lands. I'm like, who
it was
is
like
this man?
That was like the first time I ever did a gainer. Like when you run,
Yes,
and
the
then
gainers,
then you fly, but it was like, dude, it was like 50 feet in the air.
bro. What? Why? Dude, I imagine myself doing that now. I'm just like, dude, I'm too fat and out of shape to even attempt it,
It's crazy.
But,
Is it weird to
bro,
think that I was like 3 or 4 years younger than you are right now,
dude,
as the youth pastor?
I imagine myself being a youth pastor at your age, and I know that I would have been fired because I was not like at that age, I was an idiot. I'm still kind of an
Absolutely, dude.
idiot.
I mean, it's
But you did awesome, man. For your age, like God definitely put you there for the right time, and he definitely kept you up. It was amazing.
It was awesome, man. It's awesome. There's been so many times where you're like, is ministry worth it? Am I even in the right thing? Should I go make money? more money doing something, but bro,
Yeah.
it's like you could those some of those memories, man, and you're such a part of it. Like it's hard to explain and not make it in a way that sounds weird because like now you're a grown
I
freaking
know
dude. You know what I mean?
it's weird, isn't
But
it?
like, when you just think back, it's like it's just some of the craziest, just best times. But dude, I
Yeah,
want to
for
ask
sure.
you some questions
All right.
as we start to wrap this up about what is it like. Let me time out. Are you a single young man, John Austin?
Brother, I'm about as single as they get.
All right, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
So I remember the Christian dating scene being freaking level 100 minesweeper, like with no flags. Like you couldn't even put the
Dude.
flag. You just had to walk around and get blown up. Like that was like being single in the church is hard, bro. And
Bro.
I've seen you. I would say you thrive as a single young adult. So like let's talk weird church dating relationship because that's tough, dude. And
Dude,
you navigate
yeah.
it well.
Well, for starters, in the church there is not much talent. Well, at least where I'm from. Let me.
Dude, all the girls at your church are gonna be so mad at you now.
Hey, no, let me rephrase. The girls in my church they're great women. Don't get me wrong, but the majority of them are taken,
I got you.
and so you have to be the friend zone, and. The OG crew, Zach Johns says. Zach Johns, I'm still friends with him. That's another one.
Oh,
Sorry,
Zach
I just thought about
Johns,
that.
dude.
Bro, Zach Johns the GOAT. Shout out to you, brother.
You look like a sexy chocolate cowboy, bro, in your picture.
Bro, I tell him all the time he looks like Michael B. Jordan.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, dude.
that boy's a stud, man.
You're a handsome looking guy, Zach.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right.
What was I going to say? Okay, back to the dating scene, man. It's like, to put it simply, like, everybody down here is just friends, man. Like, in the church, dude, when the second a pretty girl walks in, bro, it's like feeding season, like hunting season, bro. Like, every single man is scheming. And you know what? That is my biggest turnoff. I'm like, you know what? You want her?
Dude.
Go have her.
What's that
You know?
like Mockingbird? Not Game of Thrones. It's that show where like they put everybody in the bubble and make
Hunger Games.
It's like the Hunger Games, dude.
Yes.
As soon as a pretty girl walks in, everyone's like, fight.
Bro, it's like you have to verbally claim something if you're going to go after it. You have to let everyone know, hey, I'm interested. I'm going to go for it. But even then, people have no respect and they'll still go for it. So you just got to leave it up to God at that point. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So you're saying there is more single guys in your church than single girls right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Absolutely. Bro, but the thing is, our church is predominantly boomers, you know. I love
I'm not sure
it.
if you're allowed to say that, dude.
Am I not allowed to say that? Oh, well, I said it.
A church
It's
full
my
of,
word.
a church full of Karens.
Church full of Karens, 100%, and a church full of Michaels. That's what I call men above 40 that cut their grass.
I love all the Karens, but
I love them all.
it's what the young people are calling the boomer. Got it.
Karens, the boomers, yeah,
Got it. We got
pretty
it.
much.
So how do you keep your head on straight, man? I mean, you're single.
Man.
You're waiting for the one. You know what I mean?
Right now, man, it's just like it's hard to keep hope, dude. You get 26 years old and it's like, God, what are you at? What are you doing? Like, I'm ready. I've got a job. I've got my own place. I can get married anytime, but I don't know, man. I'm also very picky. I've tried dating around just to, because I always felt like I'll never know if somebody be the one if I don't give her a chance. But I learned very quickly that that's not the case. I'm ready for God to just place somebody that I have.
So you've done both, right? Have you kissed dating goodbye? Have you tried that yet?
I'm at the point where I'm kissing it goodbye.
You're kissing it goodbye again, dude.
Yeah, I've been single for 1 year now.
Okay.
And
Okay.
my last relationship just didn't work out. different views and all that stuff.
R.I.P. Go ahead.
And so, RIP, and dude, I don't know, man. I'm waiting for the one. I believe God's got her. I'm focusing on me in the meantime, man. I'm working hard. I work 40, 50 hours a week. I'm actually a full-time streamer as well. I
Oh
actually
yeah,
live stream
dude.
video games.
Why haven't we
So
even talked about that? You're like a professional live stream Twitch streamer, right? You get money from it.
yeah, Twitch streamer. Yeah, I make money gaming. Got subscribers and all sorts of people just come to watch me, bro. But like, I got my gaming headset. We're ready to go. But it's fun, man. I enjoy what I do. It's not a full-time career yet, but the goal is to make it one. So
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
So, like, you're in the trenches, man. I feel like the longer I'm married, the
yeah,
less clout I have with the single and feeling hopeless crew. But I
yeah.
was single and feeling hopeless for years, bro. I got married at 29, so
That gives me hope
I it.
because I got 2 years, bud. No, it's I mean, I'm cool with it. I've got to the point where I'm like, you know what, God, if I gotta wait till I'm 35, 40, whatever, if it's worth the wait, it's worth the wait.
So I mean, there
So
is like a trend of people staying single longer, right? I think, but everyone said, a couple years ago that's no different. But like,
yeah.
what do you is it still does it still feel like you're doing something wrong to
Yes.
show interest in a single woman at church?
Yes, dude.
Does it feel like this weird sin thing?
Because there's so many eyes on you, man.
Like
You
what's up
know?
with that? Because I
I don't
remember it
understand it.
feeling very like almost sin. Like I'm almost like riding the line of sin to be interested in a girl. That's why at church, what'll happen is people be friends, and they're married in like a month.
Nope.
Like they skip the dating. They
I ain't
skipped
doing
like
that.
you know what I'm saying? They skipped like, hey, I like you. Do you like me? Do you want to be my girlfriend? Do you want to be my boyfriend? And they're just like,
Yep.
hi, how you doing? God told me you're supposed to be my wife.
Yeah. If you hit me with a God told me, you better have that in writing. So
I need Moses like tablets on the.
yeah. Yeah, I've had a girl hit me with that one time, and it ruined a great thing. And I just was like, you know what? I definitely don't agree. So, peace.
Like God needs to tell two people here. Me.
Yeah, God needs to start chattering in my ear because
But
you were
dude,
not.
it's you know what? But I find that only in the revival, like so there's a correlation. It's like there's a chart of
Yeah.
revival to awkward dating. Like the more like of a revival culture a church has, the more awkward it is when you start trying to date people. And so
Yeah,
it's like because
that's a
I've
good
noticed
point.
there's churches that are like they're not really about like the Holy Ghost moving and people getting like obliterated out of the altars, and they're just like, I'll just date anybody. I'll date. You know what I'm saying? I love Jesus. I love
Yeah,
dating. You want to date? I'll date 3 people at once. But
sure.
but I find that in the real like we're all about Jesus, like dating is almost like it's super taboo.
Dude, I don't know, man. I've tried dating for years. I don't want to like I don't know. I don't want to like get so like committed to all these people and try to make something work that's not supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
I've caught myself in that situation multiple times. I've only been in love one time that I can recall, like for real. And like ever since, you have to like hold yourself to a standard of like what you feel like is love. And like honestly, like if I don't feel it, I'm not going to commit, and I don't want to put myself in a position to like leads people on because I mean that hurts both people, I don't want to hurt somebody else just because I want to see if it works and it won't. So I'm just staying to me. If a girl comes in my life, it's got to be like God ordained right now.
That's dude, and he'll do it. God will do it. I think God will do
Yeah.
both ways. If I feel like if you're like about the dating thing, and I just want to take small baby steps and honor
Yeah, yeah.
boundaries, that God will show up in those details. But if you just kind of like, hey, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and then and then
Yeah.
trust that the Lord's gonna bring somebody. I think both will work. But I do
Yeah.
feel like around your age, man, I remember feeling very like a lot of pressure of like having to make a relationship work because
Dude.
you kind of feel like you're less of a person. Like I'm in my later 20s now. Like I should be in a relationship. I should be married.
Yeah.
And it's like all this pressure. Are you feeling any of that, John?
Dude, Honestly, yeah, man. Like, and on top of that, being the grandson of one of the greatest revivalists of all time, it's like I feel the pressure, man. Because my brother, he's married, he's got two kids. My grandfather got married at 19 or 18. My dad got married at 19. My brother got married at 22 or whatever. I don't know, 23. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, I've got to get my life going. Like the pressure is building because everybody's moving on with their life, and I've just been kind of still for a while, and
Yeah.
people after a while, you always kind of think in the back of your head, they're probably thinking what's wrong with them.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
But
Like, is there something wrong with this guy? Is he, is he like, you know what I'm saying? Does he have his priorities mixed up? Does he just want to be a kid for the rest of his life? I remember feeling
kind
all
of.
that. Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude.
No, yeah, you understand, man. You're in my shoes at one point.
I remember I always used to hold on to like that, like Pastor Lindell, like Lindell Cooley, like he was like 31 when he got married, and so I always was like, I could pull a Lindell, I could marry, I could marry at 31, but it is, dude. There's a lot of, especially in the church, there's a pressure. There is definitely a pressure because like if you're not married, you don't have your life together, or you're not like as spiritual. Like I remember, to be honest, dude, really feeling like that too. Like I can't even upgrade, or I can't like move to the next stage of my life until I get married,
Yeah.
And so like I was praying, I wanted the wife because I wanted to be able to take another position, or I wanted the wife so I could get. Here's what's really sick about ministry, dude. I wanted the wife so I could be considered like legit and then like make more money, because like churches will pay you like as a single minister, you're just not going to make the kind of money you're going to make if you're married, and that's bizarre. But yeah, like you're still kind of in like Minnie Mouse mode until you get married. It's crazy.
It's weird, man. I don't know. I agree. It's just there's so much pressure, and it's like I feel like my advice to young people is to don't rush it, dude. Like, because I've been in positions where I've been, feeling the pressure, wanting to rush it, but like, do you, man? Like, if I could tell my 18-year-old self, focus on building your life before you try and build your life around with somebody else.
Yeah.
Build your own life. Like, it's biblical, prepare a house for your bride, So that's really the best advice I could give any young man, just pursue God, work hard, and Lord willing, he'll bring you the right one. And if not, then so be it.
Bro,
God is still good.
I'd rather be single than with the wrong one.
Exactly.
100%.
I'd rather be single than come home and just fight every day. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
No, man.
Bro, I got the right one for me, and there's still moments where it's tough, dude. And I tell you what.
All right.
It's like you get married and you're like, all right, yeah, this is awesome. Now I'm like official. Like I'm legit. I'm a legit Christian. I got that gold ring. Dude, when I got married, I bought I wanted the fattest freaking gold ring you could buy. Like, I was like, I want the devil to know from across the street that I'm married. You know what I mean? I felt like it was this huge, dude. And you get married and you realize, like, man, that ain't about that at all.
Nah.
But being married is awesome, and so I don't want to discourage anybody from like going after it. Because if you want to get it, like get after it. But
yeah,
it feels it's a little distorted in the church. Like that whole conversation is weird. There's so much pressure. There's so many. It feels like everyone's watching and like making judgments about every move you make.
Dude, the one thing I hate about church people. No, I love church. I love church people. But the one thing that gets on my nerves more than anything is whenever you are at church and you're talking to a girl and they walk up and they say, "Oh, is this your girlfriend?" Dude, that ruins your progress. You can be talking to somebody for the first time, really liking them, and they come and say that. It just puts a wedge, and it just 90% of the time never works out.
It's just awkward.
It's awkward, and then it just puts pressure on that friendship right from the start.
I know a lot of people they're like, nah, I just won't date somebody at my church. Like,
Honestly, I feel like I'm at that point.
Like, it's just easier not to date people at your church, and that's why people like, because we have a huge like young adults like population here, and a lot of people just they just hide it. Like if they start talking to a girl or they're talking to somebody, they won't mention it, they won't say anything about it, and then until it's like all the way legit and it's official and, you know, we're getting married, then it's like, eat it. We're getting married. Like every 5 days, it's like, yeah. But before then,
you have to.
No one's even talking, you know?
If you do that down here, if you tell people that you're interested, consider it gone because they're going for it. So you have to keep your interests and your likes to yourself because the second you throw chum in the water, sharks will come. So I agree. Keep it to yourself until it's official. That's my deal.
Well, dude, I really appreciate, man, the way that you're doing it up, man. You're doing you. I've noticed that, and that's, I feel like that's what's important is just to be yourself, to know who you are, happy in your own skin, and I feel like when you do that, you're like in a better place to have eyes to see what you really want. You know what I mean? That's
true. That's very true.
There's some. Let me think, man. There might be some New York honeys up here, dude. That you need to come put that some Southern swag on, bro.
Hey, brother, I'll come up there and I'll be like, "How you doing?"
I love it, man.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm open to anything, you know. I'm at the point where I'm not about to turn down something, so.
Yeah. Well,
unless it's, obviously not my thing.
Dude, Lacey's the ultimate matchmaker. I gotta put that in her ear. You know what I'm saying?
All right, well, get some of my best pictures and have her send them out.
Boom. I'm believing that, we're just broadcasting your singleness tonight even, and so that might be a
Hey, that's always a plus.
Yeah, dude.
Tell them I come with a beach, we live on the beach down here, so.
That's what's up, man. Well, John, I enjoyed hanging out, talking with you.
Hey, yeah, dude, for sure.
You're such a cool dude, and it was such a pleasure getting to be your youth pastor there for a while, and now I'm just your buddy. But hey, dude, think about Ben, man. Ben, I think he was 29.
I think he's
married at 29, dude. Boom.
Yeah, and I'm totally for that. I'm not against it.
You could be the 29 club. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm about that 29 club. Hey, maybe that's prophetic. Who knows?
Yeah, dude. I have no clue. But man, I just it was important for me.
Yeah, bro.
We'll get Max on here too, but it was important for me to get to do this with you. I know, again, it was humbling to say that I've had any sort of positive impact on your life, but bro, it's so reciprocal, man. You don't, as you're because you're a grown dude now, and it's like you see that the people you spend time with, they rub off on you, man. They impact you too.
Dude, you'd be surprised. Like I told you at Ben's wedding, man. Dude, you would not believe the impact you've had on my life, bro. Even though it was such a short period, it was only just a couple years. Dude, those are things that'll stick with me forever. 100%. I'll never forget your sermons, bro. You did illustrations where you'd put rocks underneath the blanket, and I remember laying on that blanket, and you're like, "Are you uncomfortable?" It was just things like that. You don't even remember that, I'm sure, but I do. Yeah. So, God placed you in my life for a reason, bro, and I'm thankful, man. And now that we're grown up and buddies, it's even cooler.
It really is, dude. It really is. So, man, thanks for jumping on today. Let's get out of here.
Oh yeah.
And but as we're rolling off, I want you to just one more time let everybody know how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you on Twitch, right? How to get on the stream.
All right.
Dude, there's a clip of me and you playing what was it, Warzone?
Yeah.
I had the rocket launcher.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. So you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/turkey paste _ at the end, just because you can't just have turkey paste. I'm usually live weekdays around 7:00. We hang out and play video games. I'm basically a professional at Call of Duty. People are like, "What? That's weird. You're a nerd." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm single. I can do this." So, if you want to come hang out, come create an account and type it out and say what's up, man. I'd love to see you. So,
yeah, I know.
Weekdays 7:00.
A lot of guys are playing that, so maybe they could jump in your.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll play with you, bro. We'll carry you to a victory.
Let's do it.
I did the Simon.
Yeah. Sure did, man. Well, dude, it's so good hanging out. I love you, brother. Bro. And
love you, man.
Yeah, let's do this again sometime.
For sure, definitely.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Peace.